Peter, I've had a revelation from the shams, the powers that be above, who whisper into my ears to what's going to happen with the price of Bitcoin. And I just can't help but provide everyone with a perfect setup for a short right now in Bitcoin. Um, are you ready? Are you ready for this powerful revelation?
Yes.
All right. So just playing on the Sunday field that we did yesterday, I love how quickly some of these moves happen sometimes as these prices go directly to the levels that we're talking about. So let's go ahead and toss on wave here and our VWAP levels.
Okay, so just before the stream, you were talking to me about a short, but Bitcoin's going up.
Right, which is always the perfect time for a short. Some people like to wait till the price falls and then short to fall lower, or like to buy high to sell higher. I don't know. I guess I'm just built different.
Oh, all right, all right,
That's
all
right.
right.
Okay, so and plus, just as far as just like what any regular person might do who doesn't know anything about trading, you look over here and you see this up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You would be like, okay, maybe a down's coming next. I don't know. Maybe a down's coming next.
Is that fair? Is
Um,
that right, or are you mocking those people?
no, that's what you should expect,
Oh,
right? The idea here that this ends up in a parabolic move upwards, sure, that can happen, and it could also snow in summer. Like I don't know, why do you want to bet on that? All right. So I'm going to do this quick here. So we talked about yesterday that here's where we were yesterday, right? And then the question was, are we headed towards this level here or this level at the top over here? Either one is attracting the price. These are the VWAP levels for the week. And do you remember yesterday, Peter, I was telling you that the OCD price, it does not like this. It
right.
does not like this gap thing over here.
Uh
And sure enough, went all the way back up, fill that gap. It's like, okay,
huh.
right? And in fact, the candle that fills this gap, in the same way that you had this candle here, does a big green candle followed by a big red candle,
Mhm.
just immediately reversing. We're getting similar stuff over here. Just candle, all right, filled it. Let's move over ahead for the short. Now we could still get the price headed up to here. This is a daily VWAP that's nearby. So sometimes the price will spike up to a nearby level because these prices are magnets. Move up over there. And heck, it could end up in actually, let's just go ahead and draw some of our trend lines here. Let's go to the daily. Let's hide these guys. And so there's a trend over here. And then over here. And over here. All right. So these are my trend levels that I'm paying attention to, that I have been paying attention to now for a couple of months. And the idea here is that this is the V that we then broke to the downside, right? You see that there? We
Yes.
broke to the downside. When we came back up with the Trump tweet, it's no coincidence that we came right back up to the underside of that trend line and then roll back over down. So the idea here is that in order for this us to confirm bullishness, we'd have to break above this trend over here, which is around 90, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. Oop, did I just delete everything? I just deleted everything. 1 second.
I was on TikTok the other day, and this guy was talking about how he doesn't need to draw trend lines anymore. He just sees them when he looks at the chart. Is that
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do. But for the non-initiated, it's better to have the lines on the chart. All right, so we would have to see the break above here, which is around 90,000. Then a break above here of 92 and confirm, 92.4. And then a break above here at 97.8 to confirm. Now, a lot of people don't want to miss this move. They don't want to miss the move up over here. I get it. I get it. But you have a lot of selling pressure area that's going to exist up here. There's no problem if you think Bitcoin's going to 250,000. It's fine to wait until we get break above over here and confirm it and then move forward. But the short here that I'm seeing, if we head back now to the 2 hour, so I was just saying before that this are the levels that we're paying attention to. So this VWAP level we just touched, we could get all the way over here. We could get past here. We could wick into there. It could happen. I don't think so, but it could happen. And so I've already started shorting from this level over here. And the target would be, at the very least, our weekly target level, right here at
Right.
84, 84.1. And that would get you somewhere in the ballpark of a 3.8% move, right? So that's pretty good. That's 150 to 200% profit on a 50x trade. And then we have these levels here that are still here. We have this level here, this daily level at 84.9, and then we have this. Uh, sorry, my mistake. This is the level that for the weekly. This is the other level that we have down here, which is around 82, 82.3, 82.4 to head down to. This is a daily VWAP level that was created from over here and that we never actually revisited. So we probably want to revisit that. And then we have this level down here at 76, 76.4, 76.5, where the price, it near touched it in the same way that it near touched it over here. So there's a chance we hit down there. And then, of course, the ultimate 74 down at the bottom, right? Just 1 second. So, all right. So here's what I wanted to bring up. So 74 has been on my radar now for a while of what to pay attention to,
Right.
right? I've been calling for 74 potentially for a while. And um, we have our wave level, our yearly volume weighted moving average, that's just about to cross 74. And if we do that, and it crosses, significantly or, enough above 74, 74 becomes invalidated. It's basically like it got mitigated from the wave level.
Right.
We're not likely to get down to that level. So it's pretty exciting. If we're going to get down to 74, it essentially has to happen before the end of the month, by March 31st. Why am I saying that? Because you're seeing over here this green level and these yellow levels represent these bars represent the 1 month and the 3 month close for the VWAP levels for those areas. We've been talking about daily VWAPs and weekly VWAPs, but there's also monthly VWAPs and quarterly VWAPs. And if we're going to fall at all, it has to be before these levels, because then those levels sort of reset, and now we can be bullish from there. If we actually take a look at our multi-time frame dashboard over here, let me show it. Down here, you'll notice that on the daily and on the weekly, we're bullish. On the monthly, we're still bearish, right? And we're 77% of the way through the monthly period, and you see it's yellow, so it's suggesting that if the price stays where it is right now, we're going to be neutral. We're going to be switching to neutral, from bearish to neutral on the 1 month period. So that's a little bit better, but it's still uncertain. And on the 3 month, we are bullish, but we are 90% of the way through the quarter, and it might end on neutral. So that means the 1 month is getting better, but from bearish to neutral, but the 3 month is going from bullish to neutral. So that's not particularly, that sort of negates each other at the top. Whereas at the bottom, we have this the bullishness that's propelling this trend right now. So totally possible that we end up falling into this area in the same way that we fall into the weekly levels and the daily levels. If we're in a bearish trend, we can fall into there and really get down and nick all these mitigate all these different levels until we get down to the 74, which would coincide exactly with when when the yearly trend gets there, which would be perfect. Whenever I see these things coincide, it almost becomes like this powerhouse, because the yearly volume weighted moving average is also a magnet for price, right? The price likes to come down and touch those levels. So the last thing I'm going to show over here is that this is all coinciding with I made this OPEX calendar because I was tired of not actually having it anymore. So basically, made this calendar system here where we get to see on the chart when options expiries are happening. I'm not going to go into all the details about options expiry. We've talked about it. I've talked about it on Traders Post. You can go check it out over there. Kim Carson is where this information comes from. You can find it online, but essentially, there's these periods of the year that are weaker than others when it comes to supporting price. And we are here right now. We're March 24th, and the option expiry happens. Well, it's already happened over here last Friday, but now we have this period until the end of the month where we don't know where flows will go. And if I were to take a quick look at equity markets, just to give you a quick idea, you'll see here that the bounce that we're getting. That's weird. Okay. The bounce that we're getting here on equities. So we get this bounce from the weekly VWAP up, and it's been climbing up the VWAP levels. So we have this level is headed to 58, but that to me would be coinciding with this wave and would make the price retreat down to this weekly volume weighted moving average. No, sorry, the VWAP, just like on Bitcoin, these levels are pulled. The price gets pulled to these levels, and if this doesn't hold, well, then look out below. So that's why the shorting from over here, in the same way that we could short on Bitcoin, is to me a good move. So this is a great short down to over here, and then we'll see what happens. But it could be the catalyst that brings us all the way down to retest our volume weighted moving average, the yearly one, and then we actually make our move up towards 250,000. So I just want to jump on. Sorry, go ahead.
How much could you make in that move?
Well, just on the weekly trade, which is I would enter here, or if you wanted to be a little bit safer, you could enter up here at 88, 88.3. You can make anywhere between 150 and 200% profit on that. I mean, you could even get up to, about 200% profit on that trade. So that's not bad at all. And then I do think we actually get to this level as well. And so if you get down over here on a 50x leverage, you can get up to a 6% move. So that's a 300% profit. And then if we get all the way down to the 76 level over here, then you're making something like 12% move. So you're making 600% profit. Not bad.
Not
on a
bad.
single move.
And then if it does get down there, then you're like flipping to long, right?
Oh, absolutely. Then I'm going to go long because as we take a look at our M2 Global, already have it there. Let's go to our daily. Hide the VWAP. Reset the chart. We have here, I've been calling all along here that this low in liquidity happens at the end of March, beginning of April. I think that's the bottom. And then we move up from there. And that coincides, ironically, with these close at the like this close I've been talking about, headed into this area. This is where this is the close of the monthly. It's a close of the daily, the weekly, the monthly, and the quarterly at the same time, essentially, all coinciding with the low in liquidity, and then a blast off from over there. So, and then I think we start blasting off April 7th. But from like April 2nd, wherever my lows are, that's where I'm going to be starting to accumulate longs. But if you want to do a 50x leverage, like I'm doing, you sort of want a big pullback before you jump into that. You want to pull back to a level that you can trust, like a VWAP level, a daily, a weekly, whatever it is. You want to pull, or our wave levels, you want to pull back to over there before you actually blast off. Because if you take your 50x leverage straight over here, well, now you're just gambling like full on. You have no expectation that the price is not going to pull back and liquidate you several times before you can get in. So don't FOMO into it. Don't worry, the price blasts off. If it blasts off, no problem. You have your bags. That's what you're holding. But if you want to trade 50x leverage, you're looking for perfect entries, and that's what you want to get into. And I talked about on Sunday Fuel how this when the price missed over here, I sort of FOMO'd into it to short, which was not a good idea. I should have waited for the price to come back over here to where it is today and short from over here. And then this is far more of a solid trade.
So what's the mistake that you need to avoid now going forward that you would tend to make if you're going rogue?
If I'm going rogue, is if the price blasts.
What did your heart tell you?
The issue I would have is if we break above this level, so we break above this shorting level 87.7 that I've been talking about. If we break above that and break down to touch it to confirm it, to think that that is the blast off to the top. It could be, but we have too much levels up here pressing down the price. There's going to be other good entries. So much better to wait for the day, a day or two to complete to get the confirmation. Much better to even wait a week for that to occur. There's no real rush at that point. So that's what I would have to avoid. Rushing in, the price moves up, and I go, oh, let me just get in, and then you know,
All
I
right.
just
Well,
lose several
I'm going to
times.
tune back in on Sunday to find out if the demons won or not.
Exactly. All right, man. That was great. And let's if the shams talk to me again and they get more divine inspiration, I'll make sure to let you know.
Oh well, please keep us apprised as to the visions on the mountain that you get. This is wonderful. It's excellent. But honestly, you've explained it very clearly here, and I don't see how it doesn't move in the way that you're talking about. And I every time I watch this stuff, I feel bad for people who are not watching this, who don't have the indicators. Like, what does this chart look like when there's none of these indicators?
That's right. Right. Uh, this is what it looks like here. Hide all. And I find it just to be you can look at this and be like, oh my God, it's so bullish. I gotta get in. This is the
Right.
bottom. Look, I can see a head and shoulders. Clearly we're moving up. I'm gonna catch this fallen knife. And you just forget. You forget how the chart moves. And I hope I've convinced you, Peter, that the price is moving from VWAP to VWAP.
I
It is
mean,
moving from these levels to levels.
it, all praise to Mike Christensen from Trader Sprouts for giving you this missing ingredient that you've had that you didn't have. VWAP.
That's right. Well, I had waves, right?
Yeah,
I had the
waves.
wave levels, but I was missing the they're not just they're anchored VWAPs, and so they're these VWAPs that are set at these specific levels, and you just see institutions are moving the price to these levels. And once you realize that there are forced buyers and forced sellers within the market, that if you wanted to get in, you wanted to buy $100 million worth of Bitcoin and sell them $100 million worth of Bitcoin, you have to do it in a specific way. You can't just guess at it. You can't just press the button and all of a sudden buy it right now.
Right.
You're going to drastically move the price, and you're going to get filled at terrible levels. And so you these those the bigger players become tributaries to a river. And if you can understand what's the ecosystem like and how you can track how much water is flowing in and out, well, then you get a sense of what the level of water will be inside of the main river. But you have to pay attention to the tributaries, and you have to have that within the context of the seasons. That's why I have the calendar here that I made yesterday, because I was tired of it's like you're trying to plant a garden and you're like, is winter now? Is summer later? It's like you need to know when winter, summer, spring, and fall is coming. Like there's no way around that. And you have that seasonality within markets because they're based on us as an aggregated behavior of all human beings and all systems. And we are ourselves prone to cyclical events. And so that's going to show up within the charts as well. There's no way around it.
Awesome.
Prophets don't tell the future. They tell the present so accurately that they seem prophetic. Because you and everybody else is living in the past.
It's deep.
Mic drop. All right, that's it. And maybe we'll be back to tomorrow. Heck, we'll be back tonight if something interesting happens.
Yeah.
You can bet your bottom dollar that if we hit 74 within the next week,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna be running the bases. I'm gonna be victory laps there.
Like and subscribe, everybody.